welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashington Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines for today. Arrest warrant is unwarranted and unacceptable, says Assistant Leader of UNP. Kepa Conference 2020 is an impetus to reboot country's tourism. News in detail. Former Finance Minister and Assistant Leader of UNP Ravi Karanaika says that it is unwarranted and cannot be accepted the way judiciary functions, as the arrest orders are being considered even after he facilitated for all the efforts of investigations with regard to the central bank bond scam. Veteran politician Karanaika made these remarks this morning as the Attorney General has directed to obtain arrest warrants against 12 suspects, including him.
We are facing an unwanted, unparalleled problem in our judiciary. This was a situation where there was a problem that was instigated long ago, where we faced the situation and we came forward and ensured that we fully cooperated with the then government. Unfortunately, I basically asked the then president to ensure that whatever things that were there to be rectified and ensure that we are given a clean charge sheet. It took us 3 years in order to ensure that it's come to this particular plight. Today you have seen when the parliament was dissolved yesterday, suddenly the Attorney General decided to go forward on a matter that has been silent all this time. Why was it not done before? If it was such a heinous crime, whether the bond report, whether it was the forensic report, none of them mentioned any such charge and they exonerated us. So as to why this has happened at this late stage is a very questionable act. I would basically request the general public who has stood by me 27 years, especially the Colombo district, to please ensure that solidarity is important, have confidence in us, as I have taken the challenge in order to ensure that justice prevails in this country.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka yesterday announced that it will host the 20th conference of the Confederation of Asian and Pacific Accountants, known as KEPA, in October this year in Colombo. The announcement was made by the Institute during the unveiling of the official KEPA conference website www.kepa2020.org at a ceremony held at the Institute in the presence of CA Sri Lanka's President Manil Jayasinghe. Themed Heritage, Many Businesses, One Planet, the 20th KEPA conference will be held alongside CA Sri Lanka's 41st National Conference. The two conferences are expected to attract over 2,000 local and foreign delegates, making it one of Sri Lanka's biggest accounting summits in the country's history. The KEPA conference is held every 4 years, and the conference this year celebrates its 20th anniversary, an important landmark in the conference's history. Issuing a message on the occasion of the website launch, KEPA President Dr. Chen Yugis said that with Asia and Pacific staking claim to some of the most dynamic and fastest changing economies, the stage is set for extensive deliberations on what the accountancy profession can and must do, embracing ethics and good governance in an effort to forge a sustainable future. Thus, the KEPA conference will be inaugurated at Shangri-La Hotel Colombo on 20th October this year and will conclude on 22nd October following technical sessions of both the 41st National Conference and the KEPA conference. Addressing the launch of the KEPA conference website yesterday, CA Sri Lanka's President Manil Jayasinghe stressed that few years ago, professionals including accountants only focused on profits. But now there is an alarming need for all the professionals to pay closer attention to the greener investments and sustainable solutions. He also noted that conferences such as KEPA will help to create a dialogue in this respect at the wider society.
Not too long ago, professionals, including accountants, only focused on profits. But fast forward to 2020, and there is an alarming need for us to safeguard the planet we live in. So amidst climate change, pollution, depletion of natural resources, which are often the result of man-made decisions, we have come to a point where we need not only focus on profits, but also protecting our planet. Therefore, as finance professionals, we have a crucial role to play in mobilizing and promoting greener investments and ensuring a greener economy. And the conference will pay special focus on the topic.
Chairman of the CAPA Conference Committee, Tishan Subasinghe, also expressed views on the 20th CAPA Conference, and he said that an important aspect of this conference is that it will reinforce Sri Lanka's image as a sought-after destination for tourism. Subasinghe said that with the launch of the conference website and digital marketing media campaign for the CAPA Conference, it will certainly provide a platform for tourism promotion, and that these tools will be the interface between the institute and the prospective participants in terms of information sharing, registrations, promoting tourism and brand propagation.
It was just after East attacks, and now tourism along with the economy were badly affected. By accepting the chairmanship of the conference committee, I saw the opportunity to promote our country and CA Sri Lanka across the world using the accountants network such as IFAC, SAFA, CAPA, etc. So our propaganda campaign will not be merely restricted to Asia Pacific. We will be promoting the conference along with our country and our institute across the world.
Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has directed officials to ensure the supply of required amount of fertilizer for the Yala season without delay. The president also instructed to design a proper procedure to make sure a swiftly distribution of fertilizer among all the farmers, and stressed that the farmers should not be inconvenienced for any reason. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa had a review meeting to the current process of importation and distribution of fertilizer stocks yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat. Issues pertaining to the importation of fertilizer were discussed in depth, and the President advised to obtain the preliminary inspection reports on the quality of fertilizer within 10 days prior to distribution. The President highlighted the significance of educating the farming community about the harmful aspects of using chemical fertilizer over organic. He also noted that it was high time they are gradually directed towards the use of organic fertilizer in their cultivation. President Rajapaksa pointed out that there was an increased demand for produce that is grown using organic fertilizer. He further added that it was vital to increase the production of organic fertilizer both in order to meet the market demand and for a healthier future generation. President advised the officials to identify the countries that produce high-quality fertilizer and import from them. President further advised them to recognize the annual harvest of the main crops including paddy and make the fertilizer importations accordingly. Export Development Board announcers of a help desk launch to assist the exporters and entrepreneurs in easing their business activities. Director of Trade Facilitation and Trade Information of EDB, SRP Indrakirti, extensively explained on this measure, speaking exclusively to Art Television.
We have established this help desk to support them in various aspects. If an established exporter has an issue, they can lodge their issues at the help desk seeking the EDB services to resolve. If those exporters needs the buyer information, definitely we have the buyer database that can be very much helpful to search international buyers for them. And if it is a quality issue, we have the good networking mechanism with other government institutions to support them, say Sri Lanka Standard Institution and other government institutions to support to development of the quality. And if an entrepreneur capable of developing as direct exporters, we have another mechanism from A to Z procedure to support him.
The country's rural community, mainly the women folk, will be rescued from microfinance debt trapped under a special loan scheme introduced by the new government. Accordingly, a special program was conducted by the officials of the Ministry of Development Banks and Loan Schemes yesterday in Anuradhapura to educate the people in the area on how to manage their economy. The maximum borrowing limit on low-interest loans introduced in an effort to relieve the burden on individuals adversely affected by microfinance loans was increased from 40,000 rupees to 60,000 rupees. At the same time, annual interest rate was also brought down to 9% from 14%, realizing the hardships mainly faced by the women who went for microfinancing solutions as their crops or harvest was affected by droughts or floods continuously. The yesterday's program revealed that around 14,000 people were stuck with an issue of how to settle the loans taken from various microfinance companies and individuals, and the government's low-interest loan scheme will be a relief for them. The government has allocated 250 million rupees for this loan scheme, but so far used only an amount of 9.76 million rupees. This loan scheme has been implemented through cooperative rural banks and thrift and credit cooperative societies to provide relief to low-income people who have obtained loans from various microfinance institutions. The Treasury has released 542 million rupees for the project in total, and the Northern Province receives an amount of 292 million rupees, while the North Central Province receives a sum of 250 million rupees. As COVID-19 reaches more than 60 countries, the World Bank Group is making available an initial package of up to 12 billion US dollars in immediate support to assist countries coping with the health and economic impacts of the global outbreak. This financing is designed to help member countries take effective action to respond to and, where possible, lessen the tragic impacts posed by the COVID-19. Through this new fast-track package, the World Bank Group will help developing countries strengthen health systems, including better access to health services, to safeguard people from the epidemic, strengthen disease surveillance, bolster public health interventions, and work with the private sector to reduce the impact on economies. The COVID-19 support package will make available initial crisis resources of up to 12 billion US dollars in financing, 8 billion US dollars of which is new, on a fast-track basis. This comprises up to 2.7 billion US dollars new financing from IBRD, 1.3 billion US dollars from IDA, complemented by reprioritization of 2 billion US dollars of the bank's existing portfolio, and 6 billion US dollars from IFC, including 2 billion US dollars from existing trade facilities. It will also include policy advice and technical assistance drawing on global expertise and country-level knowledge. World Bank Group President David Malpass said that the package includes emergency financing, policy advice, and technical assistance, building on the World Bank Group's existing instruments and expertise to help countries respond to the crisis. The World Bank support will cover a range of interventions to strengthen health services and primary health care, bolster disease monitoring and reporting, train frontline health workers, encourage community engagement to maintain public trust, and improve access to treatment for the poorest patients. The bank will also provide policy and technical advice to ensure countries can access global expertise. Stay tuned for stock updates after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 82.96 points to close at 5,535.45, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 70.44 points to close at 2,586.31. The turnover was 478 million rupees and over 24 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. With that, we will wrap up today's news. Log into our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be alert on the latest updates. Join us tomorrow with State of Business at the same time. Until then, take care.